Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your next cast. Thank you so much for checking out another episode. Today, you're going to see and hear something a little bit different. I'm actually going to narrate some of this fishing trip because I didn't actually talk a whole lot. This is a trip I took about a week ago here in Lake of the Woods, and I just fished for about 2 hours from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I really just spent the day meditating, trying out a few different techniques, and trying to learn some things. So, if you like fishing, if you enjoy learning, I think you'll pick up some nice tips in this video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
That's one. Got him. Crappie. Crappie, first one of the day.
Now, I know a lot of you out there pronounce them crappie, and I pronounce them crappie. It's just a habit that it's really hard to get out of because that's the way that I pronounced it pretty much my whole life. So, promise I'll do better. For now, you'll have to forgive me. You may also notice that I'm fishing at a familiar place. That pole I just threw past is called Pole 22. I affectionately call it that because this is a place where I catch a lot of bass and a lot of crappie. And here comes one of the most exciting parts of any fishing trip.
That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one, guys. This is a big one, guys.
Now, often I don't talk you through what's going through my head, but right now what I'm trying to do is get away from that pole because there's a lot of brush and sticks under there that the fish can wrap around. And at this point, I'm actually thinking it's a catfish because it's not breaking the surface. So I'm just trying to ease the boat as far away as I possibly can.
It might be a catfish, but whatever it is, it's good size.
And so now my mind just shifts to don't lose the fish, Titus. Don't lose the fish, Titus. And the reason I yanked the rod tip way up at first was because I was trying to steer the boat and I didn't want to lose it or lose tension. So that was a way of keeping tension on the fish, is just holding rod tip high.
We just got to keep pressure on him and get him out here in the middle so he doesn't wrap me up around any sticks. Get the net ready. I think it's going to be a minute before this thing comes up. Still can't see it yet. It's actually fighting like a bass, though. Just hit the bottom of the boat. Oh, it is a bass. Nice bass. Ooh, got him. It's a nice bass, guys. Now that is one for your bag right there. That's what you want to take to the scale. Look at that guy. Look how thick that thing is. Got him right there in the roof of top of his lip. Let's see how much this guy weighs. I believe this might be a 3-pounder. Reading at 210. 2 pounds, 10 ounces. That's what we got. Nice 2-pound, 10-ounce bass. Let's put this guy back in the water. That one makes the trip worth it. That one right there. Still got my lure intact too. Although I am gonna retie.
And you don't often see me do this because I usually edit this part out, but here's where I actually sit down and retie and continue to think about, what just happened. The other thing that's happening at this point is to my left and your right, there's another boat that you can probably hear that was eyeing me catch that fish, and they really looked like they wanted that spot because I drifted a good ways off of it trying to get away from the pole. So in respect to them, I just decided I'm going to retie and I'm going to move on to my next spot. So here we go. So at this point, I moved on to another spot that was not too far from the pole, but still a good spot. Has quite a few bass, quite a few crappie that I've caught. But I was really noticing that I was getting different hits and nibbles based on how low the lure went into the water. So really what I started to do was kind of gauge how far down that was happening. Now, usually if you have electronics, that makes it a bit easier, but because I don't, I usually use some type of accounting method of when I drop it into the water. So that's why you actually see me just opening the bail and letting the line fall straight down. And the reason I like doing this is because you get to experiment and learn what ranges or in what depth the fish might actually respond best in. And so what I'm starting to pick up is that a lower depth and a faster rate of fall is getting a better response.
So I think I'm starting to realize something. I just let it drop all the way to the bottom. And when I let it get all the way to the bottom, I got two really good hits. I mean, felt like they were really good size. So I'm thinking I might need to put a bigger Ned rig jig head, like a bigger weight on it to get a fish. Yeah, like I'm getting, which you would think they would take this as well, but sometimes that small weight difference matters. So right now I'm fishing with a 1/10 ounce. I think if maybe I went to like a 1/5 or 1/6 and it's getting down there faster, I might be able to catch more. But I don't really have time to experiment like I want to, so there's one. Well, at least we know they still bite this thing, for sure. Crappie and bass seem to be what I'm doing. But lately it's been more crappie than bass, which I'm not mad at. I want to get better at catching crappie. But I think the weight will do it. I think if I get a better weight, I might get a better result. So I think I might come back out later this evening and fish. There's one. And just focus on, with the heavier weight, and just focus on trying to land crappie. It's two. Whoops. Another one. They're small guys though. But this area is obviously full of them. Like I came here once before and caught a bunch.
So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, here comes another jet ski. And usually this is expected, especially during the summer, this early in the morning. I try to get all my fishing done by 8:30, 8:45, 9 at the latest, simply because about that time, that's when a lot of the fun boats, I'll say, start to come out. You see more pontoon boats, you see more jet skis and things like that. And that's why you see me rocking back and forth now, and you're probably going to see a little bit more of that as we keep fishing. But this is something else you put in your toolbox. As you fish, you always learn and you grow and you advance. And so, what I'm learning in this process is that the weight does make a difference. And now I can begin to play with the weight sizes and see which ones are more effective. So, not only do we catch fish, but we then begin to improve upon the ability to catch fish, as you're going to see.
Ooh, had another big crappie right behind him. Well, that's a bigger one. Bigger crappie. And what I am finding out is it's the heavier weight. I'm gonna come back out here later with a heavier weight, get down to that bottom, because I think that's where it's at. I think it's getting down to that bottom. For sure. At least in this one spot, it's getting down to that bottom. And just with this lighter weight, it's been taking longer to get down to it, so I haven't been patient enough. I've just been throwing it, letting it fall maybe 3 or 4 feet, and then reeling it in, instead of letting it fall all the way to the bottom, and then hopping it, and then bringing it back. Because the last couple of times I've done that, I've gotten hits and bites. And on that one, I saw 2 come after it. So just to let you know, weight does make a difference. The rate of fall definitely makes a difference. And apparently I need something that's gonna fall a bit faster to the bottom to get them.
So, in my mind, even though I've only caught a few fish, it's a very productive day because I learned something new. And to me, learning something new is always valuable and always worth the experience. Because not only did I find out about the weight, but this also keyed me into vertical jigging. And you're going to see a couple of videos that I'm going to do where vertical jigging in this lake really came into play. And that's really where you just open up the bill, let the line fall to the bottom, and you just kind of jig it up and down. Now, you might think that you use these broad sweeping strokes or it takes a lot of energy and motion, and it really doesn't. It's pretty simple. And I'm actually going to walk you through exactly what that looks like for me.
So this is the hard part. Since I don't have a heavier sink with me, I just gotta wait. Just gotta let it fall all the way to the bottom. Wait until my line goes slack, and then start tightening it up, and then slowly jigging it. It's just little pops up and down. That is literally all I'm doing. Is little. It's not big gestures like this. It's just little bit, just a little bit, and then slight turns of the handle.
And well, that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Put a few crappie in the boat, put a nice sized bass in the boat, learned quite a bit about weight and rate of fall, and I feel like I'm going to be even better for next time. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope the video has been helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, again, throw that thumbs up. If you want to see more content like it, just make sure you hit that red subscribe button. We will see you next time right here on your next cast.
It's almost 9 o'clock. We gotta go, gang.